Let's call our meeting to order.
No.
This is a regular meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Seaside Park, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, held on Thursday, November 9th, 2023, advertised to begin at the conclusion of the work session meeting, which has now just ended. Pursuant to the provisions of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting was properly provided by transmitting the notice of the meeting for publication to the Asbury Park Press and the Star Ledger on January 4th, 2023. Notice of the meeting of the governing body also has been posted in the corridor of the municipal building and in the office of the municipal clerk. Roll call.
Councilmember Ammaville.
Present.
Councilmember Condos.
Who's excused this evening?
Councilmember Kraft.
Here.
Councilmember Dr. McHugh.
He too is excused this evening.
Councilmember Welch.
Here.
Council President DeMichael.
Here.
Mayor Peterson.
Here.
Thank you.
Let us all rise for a moment of silence to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on the agenda seeks approval of the minutes for October 26, 2023, a work session, and October 26, 2023, a regular meeting. Any questions or comments from council, or if not, a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mayor.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Kraft, second by Council President DeMichael. Roll call.
Councilmember Kraft.
Yes.
Council President DeMichael.
Yes.
Councilmember Ammaville.
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
Motion approved.
The next item are approval for special meeting minutes, January 10th, 2023, an executive session, March 7th, 2023, an executive session, March 23rd, 2023, an executive session, April 27th, 2023, an executive session, June 22nd, 2023, an executive session, July 13th, 2023, an executive session, and July 20th, 2023, an executive session. Any questions, comments from council, or if not, a motion?
I'll make the motion, Mayor. Approve.
Motion by Council President DeMichael,
No second?
seconded by Councilmember Wilk. Roll call.
Council President DeMichael.
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft.
Not on A because I was not on council at the time, but all the others I'm fine with. B through G.
Thank you. Councilmember Ammaville.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next item is final reading and adoption. It's ordinance 22314, an ordinance of the Borough of Seaside Park in the County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, providing for the construction of a well in the borough and appropriating $2,600,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,600,000 in bonds or notes of the Borough of Seaside Park to finance the cost thereof. Any questions, comments from council? If not, I'll go into the audience for a public hearing. This is a second reading of the ordinance as to the new well. If there's any public comments, if anyone has them, if they could give their name and address into the mic. Hearing none, I would close the public portion. I'd entertain a motion from council.
So moved, Mayor.
Motion by Councilmember Kraft,
Second.
second by Council President DeMichael. Roll call.
Councilmember Kraft.
Yes.
Council President DeMichael.
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
Councilmember Ammaville.
Yes.
Motion approved.
The next is final reading and adoption ordinance 22315. It's a capital ordinance of the Borough of Seaside Park, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,041,000 for the Decatur Avenue Water Tower. Any questions, comments from council? If not, we'll go into the audience. This is a public hearing, second reading of ordinance 22315. Any public comments? Hearing none, I would close the public portion. I'd entertain a motion from council.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle?
Michelle Miller, 1500 Lake Avenue. What's going on with well 10? What's the status with that?
It would require about a $4 million filtration plant in order to make that, make the water look nice and smell nice.
The water has an odor to it and has forbiddance. It's cloudy.
So, are we gonna get that done before we start this?
No, because it was cheaper, less expensive to initiate a new well than to put a filtration plant on well 10. It was also considered about of annual cost that would be entailed in order to keep the filtration plant going as well as supplies.
So is that one gonna be taken down?
Well, at one point, I'm not sure what the.
But was it on the ground?
This wasn't part of this, but we're all.
Well, that doesn't do it now.
It'll probably be,
The well 10 will be abandoned once the new well
will be abandoned.
is
Okay.
up and running.
Thank you.
It was for the first one.
Yeah.
Any other comments on second reading as to the Decatur Avenue well? Hearing none, I would close the public portion. I'd entertain a motion.
So I'll make that motion.
Motion.
I'll second it.
Council President DeMichael, second by Councilmember Wilk. Roll call.
Council President DeMichael.
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft.
Yes.
Councilmember Anfield.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next is final reading and adoption. It's ordinance 22316, a capital ordinance of both Seaside Park County, Ocean State of New Jersey, appropriating $68,500 for Bayside flood mitigation, and specifically as to payment for the SAB mitigation plan. Any questions, comments from council? Final reading? Hearing none, I'll go into the audience if there's any public comments on second reading of 22316. Hearing none, I'd close the public portion. I'd entertain a motion.
So moved, Mayor.
Motion by Council President DeMichael,
Second.
second by Councilmember Kraft. Roll call.
Council President DeMichael.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft.
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
Councilmember Anfield.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next item on the agenda are authorizations. I'll read them in summary fashion. The first, Seaside Park Republican Club date and time, November 21st, 2023, 6:30 p.m., council chambers. Second, Berkeley Striper Club Fisherman's Flea Market, 5/4/24, and a rain date 5/5/24 at the Marina. A condition of approval involves a renewal of the certificate of insurance. Third is Berkeley Striper Club Teaching Tagging Course, December 3rd, 2023, 9 to 11 in the council chambers. And those are the authorizations. Any questions, comments from council on any? If not, is there a motion with the,
Make sure everyone's,
Just
for the Republican Club, they just need to add into the
description of
that
operations.
the Borough of Seaside Park is additionally insured.
Well, they have to add under description of operations, they have to add, it's going to be at the Borough Council meeting room, and they should give the basic hours of operation. Under description of operation, it's not filled in, and it really should be.
So we'll just authorize with that change.
Have the certificate amended to include the council chamber and the hours. I guess basically it's, 6:30 PM to 9 or 9:30, whatever. But it should, if you look at the other ones that are here, that'll give you the idea, especially like the Striper Club, Borough Council meeting room, Sunday, December 3 hours, 9 AM to 1 PM. It's got to have that in there. It really does. It's got to be in the description.
so there was a condition then with item 1, and condition 2 for the Berkeley Striper Club also requires a renewal of the certificate of insurance as a
That's because it's
condition.
in there. It's really not for public comment.
So any other questions, comments from council? If not, a motion with the conditions on A and B.
So moved.
Motion by Council President DeMichael. Second by Councilmember Anfield. Roll call.
Councilmember DeMichael.
Yes.
Councilmember Anfield.
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next is the payment of claims. It's a bill list from October 27th to November 10th, 2023. Any questions, comments from council? If not, any motion?
Motion to approve that.
Motion by Council President DeMichael. Second by Councilmember Pratt. I didn't hear. Roll call?
Council President DeMichael?
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
Yes.
Councilmember Anfield?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Next are the resolutions. I'll read in summary fashion. 223-290, it's authorizing the cancellation of designated tax sale certificate. 291, authorizing the adjustment of designated water and sewer utility accounts, Block 8, Lot 4, Block 53, Lot 30, and Block 53.01, Lot 6. 292, authorizing the adjustment of designated water sewer utility accounts, Block 44, Lot 6, Block 75.01, Lot 36. 293, appointing seasonal employees to the Department of Beach Control. 294, confirming the filing of a certificate, or certification rather, of local government best practices checklist. 295, establishing procedures for video recording public comment during public meetings. 296, accepting the resignation of code enforcer John Anderson. 297, authorizing the sale of surplus property no longer needed for public use on an online auction website. And 298, authorizing the transfer of certain funds, line items as recommended through the CFO. Any questions, comments from any council members on any of the resolutions? If not, we'll go into the audience. It's our practice to allow public comments on resolutions, though it's not required by law. If anyone has any, if they could give their name into the record. Hearing none, I'll close the public portion. I'd entertain a motion as a consent agenda from council with the resolution. Motion by Council President DeMichael. Second. Second by Councilmember Wolk. Roll call.
Council President DeMichael?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
Yes.
Councilmember Kraft?
Yes.
Councilmember Anfield?
Yes.
Motion approved.
And anything further at this juncture from council?
No, I'd just like to thank Johnny Anderson for his time that he was here. An excellent job. Sorry to see him leave, but he did.
No, I second those sentiments. Very well thought of, and always very courteous and professional with the people and the homeowners in town. Anything else from council? If not, we'll go into the audience if there are any public comments. If anyone has them, if they could give their name and address into the record. Yes, sir.
Michael Spadafino.
The microphone, please.
It's going to work.
Well, whether it works or not, come on up to the mic. Thank you, sir.
If we have microphones there, we'll pick them up.
That's all right. Mike Spadafino, 59th Avenue, Seaside Park. First, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Peterson, Mr. Rotunda, and Mr. Connor on their election. I would also like to continue with my thought about procedures, since I'm not going to be working with you up there, that, again, I say that during the course of a meeting procedure, it should be asked that the township attorney and the administrator be given a report, and that all committees be asked to report if they have any committee reports to do, so that some clarification can be helpful. Also, I would really believe that it'd be very helpful to us all as residents if the administrator or the attorney could explain in more detail of what the actions are on a first reading, because by the time you get to a second reading, you've already made up your mind and what we have to say really doesn't matter. Lastly, one of the issues was happened during the campaign was about green space, and I thought it was just kind of odd that we obtained these properties by condemnation, and we're talking about them as green space, but yet we're in the process of selling them. Kind of an oxymoron. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comments? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Chuck Appleby, 215 10th Avenue. I'd like to congratulate the candidates, including Mr. Councilman Kraft, for his election, for the joint intent for the election. I did have a personal thing I want to bring up. So I have a rental. I think this is going to come up more and more. Over the years, I've seen ordinances come out for flashing signs for businesses where you can't have flashing signs. I've seen beach bonfires go away because of asthma and different things. Ground fires in people's backyards and things be regulated and all these things. What I'm running up against now is a tenant who smokes this weed that smells really bad. So apparently, I'm learning the weed that smells really bad is really good. So, and they don't sell a weed that basically is flavorful, so it doesn't bother anybody. So as I walk along the bay and things like that, I get to the same addresses sometimes, and I start to go, what's that? And I can smell it. So it's a quality of life thing. So we have people renting, we have people living in town and everything like that. And the same as we regulate all these other things as quality of life things, I think this weed smell is going to be getting worse and worse, and it's very disruptive. I have a home where the neighbor is complaining to me about the tenant because he's smoking weed all the time, and it just gets into her house. She has asthma, and you want to please everybody. And what we concluded was Governor Murphy legalized it with the government, and there's nothing we could do about it. But I think there is something we could do about it. And I would like the council to look into ways to regulate that, if possible, for a quality of life thing, because it really does interrupt peace.
Last year, Chuck, I proposed that we expand the smoking ordinance to include all of the parking lots and any of the additional space outside of just recreational space, and we did do that. I felt the same way walking up on the boardwalk. I was thinking of parents with their kids. I mean, I knew what it was, but how are you going to explain that? And I even saw people standing outside the bathroom and hanging out at the cars and stuff. So we actually did pass that extension of the smoking. We put it under smoking because you really have to. And we did do that. That was a good attempt to do that. I don't know how you really can deal with residents, but it was an effort that was made in exactly that.
You understand what I'm saying? The neighbor came to me and said, I thought the tenant ran over a skunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I know what you're talking about. And, but the thing is, it's a quality of life issue, and nobody wants their.
What suggestions? Chuck, how are you doing?
It's just, again, League of Municipalities coming up, ask other towns how they're doing it, if they're addressing it, and apartment buildings and other things like that. I don't have the answer. I just see it as a problem, and I'd like to, I'd like to have people have relief for it, because I don't like it. It disrupts my walks. I don't get it.
No.
You need to inhale it more.
Yeah, I don't. That's that side, right? Okay. So the other thing was with the block parties. I'm running into where I do a block party every year, and this insurance with the alcohol. I couldn't find insurance at the level needed to do the alcohol. I'm still looking for it. But I talked to my agent and everything, and they said, the companies, there's only like one really, Markel or something like that, it's called, that issues this insurance. And they just changed the rules. So you basically have to hire a liquor establishment, a bar, to come to your party and set it up and use their liquor license and everything like that, and their insurance, or their insurance anyway, and have somebody serving in order to have even a block party based on the insurance. But I could get it up to $1 million, but I can't do the $2 million. So I just was wondering if there would be a way to look at that and see if there's a way.
I thought it was a BYO, like for each resident.
Well, we set up like a bar or something like that. I get an insurance policy, and there's a checkbox.
So you're going that extra step.
Yeah, it's
No, I'm just asking, because I never heard
that
that be an issue before, but.
So, well, it's new because I can't get the insurance now. So I
Right.
ran into a problem. But I don't mind if that's the law. Jif says that that's what we have to do.
So you have to hire a caterer that's licensed.
You have to hire a bar.
Well,
To set
or a caterer,
something.
somebody
It
that's.
makes it cost prohibitive.
One single and two active.
So we can switch to pot. That's a good point.
There you go.
So Chuck, I know you and I have had some email conversations about this, and there is a way that you can go through the mill, through that program,
I'm gonna try it.
gather bars. What they have to do first is set the venue code for the borough, and then people who want to have block parties or close off roads or things like that can use that venue code and go through the mill, through Gather Guard, to obtain the insurance.
Right, I'm gonna do that, but then I'm gonna see the price, and like, we're just paying like $250, and then the price, if it goes up considerably, I'll let you know what it is. We're not gonna pay a lot. I just wanted to, times change, but, you know, I like to do that. And of course, not having alcohol on the borough properties is another thing, for our Republican Club meetings and stuff like that that came up. So, I don't know if that's a JIF requirement, but we usually have some beer for the people afterwards and stuff like that. And, I don't know if that's in the letter of the law or something that could be looked at to where we could accommodate as we have for the last 40 years. I don't know if something changed, but if we could just look at that, see what the actual written requirements are legally or, policy-wise, and what are nice to haves, and see if we can accommodate a little bit more. So, yeah, we appreciate it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comments? Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
I'm Tom Joseph, 704 South Bayview Avenue, Seaside Park, obviously. Having concluded running for town council and not succeeding, I would like to congratulate the mayor and the gentlemen for taking their positions on the council. I'm not anything remotely resembling a career politician. This was my first foray into this, and I thought I'd make a couple of comments. I was somewhat appalled to discover that when you run for something like this, you find appearing in your mailbox a whole bunch of literature and things that indicate that you hold a variety of amazingly extreme and unsupportable positions. And I was really appalled with some of them, and I thought I would take a moment to set the record straight. But we don't have time for a lot of those topics. I'm going to stick to one. The topic I want to talk about is wind farms and whales. Apparently, my position, according to what I learned from my mailbox, is that I support wind farms placed just off the surf zone, within swimming distance of the beach, with wind farms that kill whales and are connected to the shore with electrical cables that kill fish and kill whales. And I gotta tell you, that isn't even remotely the way I think about this topic. So let me explain. First of all, the idea of siting a wind farm that close to the shore is insane, and everybody knows that. So obviously that's not something I support. Supporting wind farms that kill whales, well, I don't support that. I don't support any wind farm that kills whales. But honestly, that's a pretty weak statement, because the reality is there is no such thing now based on scientific evidence as a wind farm that kills whales. They don't exist. Someday maybe they will, or somebody will design one that does, and when they do, I will oppose them. But right now, doesn't exist, just plain isn't relevant. And the connection with electrical cables that kill fish, well, I got a PhD in electrical engineering, an extensive career, and during that career, I have touched on undersea cables in a variety of applications. So I know something about them. One of the things I know is if it's gonna kill fish, it's gotta leak energy in order to kill the fish. You don't get things for free. So if the wind farm's pumping energy into the end of the cable and it's killing fish, then the energy isn't getting to the useful end of the cable. So nobody designs undersea cables in such a way that they kill fish, especially not cables that are going to be buried 4 to 6 feet in the ocean bed. So that's a non-issue also. It's just not relevant. So where do we end up? In simple summary, I am unalterably and completely opposed to siting wind farms that kill whales connected to the shore with fish-killing cables that are just off the surf zone. Is that clear? I really want to set the record straight so that everybody understands that. Now, how do I really feel about the real wind farms, the ones that were planned at the state and federal level and that just got canceled? I've used up my 5 minutes. We don't need to talk about that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir, and you've been patient. So, your name?
Janet O'Sullivan, I'm at 33 Brighton Avenue. My street has the access for the emergency vehicles. I don't know if all of you are aware that that ramp does not meet code. Are you aware, all aware? Did I talk to you on the phone about this?
Your husband is on the ramp?
Is that you?
Yes.
Yes. My husband and I took a walk on the boardwalk. We go up the ramp and we would walk north on the boardwalk. And when we came back down, my husband and I had to take baby steps. Now, we live here and we know people fall on this ramp all the time. So we were taking baby steps going down and my husband fell and twisted his leg. He thought he tore his ACL. He was lying there and I was yelling, "Joe, move, move," because I saw a fishing truck driving backwards down the ramp. These trucks will go up, they'll drive up, they'll look to see how the ocean looks. They come back, backing down. This truck did not see my husband. Had I not been there, he would have been dead. This man would have run him over. I was screaming, "Stop, stop, stop," and the man wasn't hearing me. And Joe's lying there, and I'm saying, "Joe, move," but he couldn't because he was all contorted. And then finally, this other man heard me screaming, and he was walking his dog coming up from the beach, and he yelled, "Stop the truck," and the truck stopped. The point is, we see people falling all the time. He could have gotten run over. We had a conversation that there are conversations with engineers about getting around to fixing this ramp. Well, if you know it isn't code, then we're waiting for a lawsuit or waiting for somebody to die. I've helped people with baby strollers, people slipping and falling. This ramp is dangerous the way it is. And we've got a summer coming up where there are going to be more accidents and maybe somebody will die or break a leg or something bad. And I want you to make this an important topic because emergency vehicles go flying up that street, they go flying out. And here we are as pedestrians taking baby steps and hoping we're not falling on this ramp. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Hearing none, I would close the public portion and I'd entertain a motion from council.
So moved, Mayor.
Motion by
Second, Mayor.
Kraft, second by Councilmember Ammaville. Roll call.
Councilmember Kraft?
Yes.
Councilmember Ammaville?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
Yes.
Council President Michael?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you, and thank everyone for coming out tonight.